Going on, people, we are Tottenham TV. Spurs have drawn by 2-2 against Roma in the fifth Europa League game. Spurs have now dropped outside the top 8 in the Europa League as well in the group phase after winning 3 out of our 3 first games, followed by a loss against Galatasaray with a very youthful side. And today was a very strong side, very strong Tottenham side playing against Roma at home. And you know what? For the first half, we played pretty well for the most part. You know, we took the lead early with a Sonny penalty. Really well won by Pape Matar. And after that, we kind of like reverted into our shells a little bit, and Roma really came at us. They got their goal. They got another goal, which was called for offside, and they were really on top. And then Spurs really did take initiative in the game and took control of the game. We got our goal, and we probably should have had a whole lot more, to be honest, before the end of that first half. And I think that's ultimately what's ended up killing us in this game, because we couldn't come out in the second half. Towards the end, they were building up pressure, and the pressure finally told, and they got their goal. But it's always going to be a tale of missed chances, because that game should have been put to bed in the first half. Yeah, we should have been out of sight with the level of chances we created before the last 15 minutes or so. I think Ange will be very frustrated with how profligate we were in front of goal and decision making sometimes, especially we had like a 4-on-2 at one point. You know, we've got to be making a chance out of that. Obviously, Solanke hit the bar late on as well. You know, Solanke had that shot when he should have just laid it into Maddison. These moments obviously ended up making the difference. I think we played some beautiful football at times. Started the game really strongly, as you say. Papsar getting that penalty in the first 5 minutes. But to be fair, after that period, Roma did definitely get back in the game. Dybala was running the show. He was picking up all sorts of positions, and we really struggled to contain him. And he ended up assisting Ndika for the equaliser with a really good free kick. He obviously had that little dink to El Shawari, who volleyed it home, but luckily for us, he was offside. One of 3 offside goals that Roma did have on the day. And it looked like Roma were getting to the ascendancy, but Tottenham did respond in that first half. Brilliant team goal between Sarr, Decky and Brennan Johnson. And once we took the lead, as you say, lots of chances. Brennan had a shot off the line. Decky, Solanke had the follow-up, which was saved. Decky then hit the post. Son hits the rebound over the bar. And at that point, you know, it could have been a case of how many at that point. And going in at 2-1, it was disappointing, because you know we should have been a lot further ahead. We didn't really come out in the second half in the same way, albeit, again, we did have chances in that second half. I think we did contain Roma fairly well for large parts of that second half, albeit they were definitely the ones putting pressure on us in terms of possession. They were finding all sorts of spaces out wide. We did struggle to contain the wing-backs, Angelino and Celik, and then it was Zaluski who came on. They were getting a lot of space, and they were able to create lots of chances. They'd had 2 goals ruled out for offside, I think both from Dovbyk, which, you know, we got away with on a couple of occasions. One of them looked extremely tight. The other one was very much fairly offside. But I thought, on about the 65-minute mark, we did have a bit of a second wind, and we did start. I think Maddison came on, came on. Decky moved out wide, and Basuma came on. I thought had a really good cameo when he came on, and I thought we had a bit of a second wind, and we started to create chances again. But we didn't punish them. As I say, you know, Solanke should have slipped in Maddison. Solanke then hits the bar after a brilliant ball from Archie Gray. So we had a couple of moments to really kill them off, and we didn't. And then last 10 minutes, we were just putting ourselves in trouble. We were inviting the pressure. Porro, I think, set the tone for those last 10 minutes with a back pass with his header back to Forster, which nearly cost us, and forced a save out of Forster. They then, in the last minute, had a brilliant chance from a corner. Mancini's volley swiveled, and a brilliant tip over from Fraser Forster. Looked like it got Tottenham 3 points, but we switched off from the resulting corner. Salamakers plays it down the line to Angelino. He plays the ball across the face to goal, and Hummels gets that equaliser in the last minute, and it was reward for the pressure they put on us in those last 10-15 minutes. And that'll be very disappointing for Ange Postecoglou that we couldn't see out the game. We didn't manage the game as best we could probably in those last 10 minutes. And I think a draw is probably a fair result. I just felt like there was just so much panicking from the players, not just in the second half, but even in the first half when Roma were on top for those 10-15 minute periods. So many sloppy passes playing through the lines from
the likes of, Rodrigo Bentancur, Pape Sarr, Pedro Porro, these guys, and maybe not Sarr, but, sloppy passes on a consistent basis. And it was really frustrating. Once we did get a hold of the game and we were on top, we were dynamite. We really were dynamite in that first half with the likes. Brennan Johnson was brilliant, Sonny was brilliant, and Kulusevski was near unplayable. I mean, these three players, they were just taking the game to Roma. They didn't know how to deal with it. They didn't know how to handle it. And it's just such a shame that we didn't get more goals towards the end of that first half. I said it at the time. I said it in the watch-along. We don't want half time here. The longer this goes on, the more likely it is we're going to score because we were really in our groove. Half-time did come and we just can never find that same kind of momentum, that same rhythm in our play in the second half. And I thought Brennan was quiet in the second half. Kulu was quiet in the second half. Sonny was also a bit quiet in the second half.
I think there was a lot of good performances in there, which is all the more disappointing that we didn't get the win over the line. But I think in general, a lot of the players did have good games. I thought Decky in spells looked really good and then dropped off in the second half. I thought Sarr as well, before he went off, was having a really strong game. Son in the first half was looking really threatening, and he got his goal and, forced Sevilla into a brilliant save, and he was looking sharp as well. Brendan got his goal, took his goal really well, also had a shot cleared off the line. I think one thing I would say about Solanke is, had a couple of chances to score and he didn't take them, and that'll be really disappointing, especially one of them. A couple of times I thought the 4-on-2, he led the charge there, and I thought his ball out wide to Decky wasn't the best one in terms of weight of pass, and could have done a bit better with it. And I thought as well, the two chances he scored, especially the one where he could have laid it off to Maddison and he didn't, and then he ended up taking that shot into the near post, and it just, it was a fine effort but easy save for the keeper. And the header that hit the crossbar, a bit unlucky with it, but he'll be very disappointed. And he had a chance as well with the follow-up from Bennon's shot, which was clear off the line and couldn't turn it home as well. So he'll be frustrated that he didn't end the day with a goal. And look, at the end of the day, it is a draw. It's not the draw keeps us still in a decent position if we want to get into that top 8, albeit we are outside the top 8. But we're level on points, I think, with the team who are in 8th at the moment, and we're currently sitting in 9th.